Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is part three of the audio issue I had. It's only going to be three, two more parts. This one, so I'm just recording the audio separate to the gameplay. I won't be making that mistake again, hopefully, because it's a pain in the arse. So I'm just going to be narrating as I play. There's not really a whole lot to say for this section. I just try and get through it as quickly as possible. There's a little interesting thing here that I'll point out in a second.
Man after my own heart. Here I have a more suitable gun for you. You'll need it. Catch.
Okay, you see that gun I was zooming in? That one. That was originally a gun that you were going to use. It was called the Annabelle. Unfortunately, it was cut. They decided to just give you the one shotgun, but they didn't want to take it out of the game, so they just left it in and gave it to that guy instead. That's why it looks so poorly textured, as you might have seen when I zoomed in. Now here I try and be clever by closing the door on the fast zombies. Unfortunately that didn't work, and I pretty much get gang raped. So whilst we're waiting for something to happen, I might as well mention a couple of mods for this game. If you haven't got Half-Life 2, or maybe you've got Half-Life 2 and just played the game, there are a number of source mods that you can play. There's a couple of online zombie ones. There's Zombie Panic Source. I'm sure most people have probably played them by now. Zombie Panic Source. That's quite a popular one. It's a player versus player, sort of a team deathmatch. One team plays the humans, the survivors, and the other plays the zombies. And depending on the settings, you either become a zombie yourself when you die as a survivor. That's pretty fun. That can be pretty fun. Some of the custom maps are pretty good. I personally prefer the ones with real objectives, as opposed to just hide in this house for 5 minutes and then you win. I prefer the ones with decent objectives. There's also Zombie Master. That's like it's kind of a team deathmatch type game. One person plays as the Zombie Master, which takes place in a real-time strategy view, sort of a top-down view. And then the rest are survivors, and it's basically the Zombie Master has control over all the NPCs, all the zombies. There's about 5 different types of zombie. There's shamblers, which are the basic. They use all the model. Well, not the models. They use the skeletons, if you like, from Half-Life 2, and they've just reskinned them. So there's shamblers, which are basically the normal Half-Life 2 zombies. There's banshees, which are just the fast zombies. There's a zombie called the Hulk, which is basically just the poison zombie, but they've increased the scale to like 2 or 3, so it's like a giant thing. There's a couple of others. One that sets on fire and burns you, and one that's called a spitter, which spits. That's pretty good. There's a couple of servers up up on there. Um, that's I've spent a load of time playing that. I don't play it so much anymore, but it's definitely worth something to check out. There are a couple of single player ones as well if you prefer single player. There's was it Black Mesa Source? That's a fairly popular one. Although that got released as a standalone game recently. That's on the Steam store. It's in early access at the moment, but that's worth checking out. And there's also Synergy. That's a co-op one. It's basically the Half-Life 2 story and cooperative, a bit like Sven, I believe, for Half-Life 1. That's alright. It's a little bit buggy. I mean, I guess if you want to play through, I've only played that one briefly. It wasn't too interesting for me, but I suppose if you want to play with friends or just random people, then you can. Anyway, so I'll just hide in here, wait for the cart to come up. Fast zombies can't get you down here.
To be commended for avoiding my traps. The work of a man who once had too much time on his hands and now finds time for nothing but the work of salvation. I suspect you have little wish to remain in Ravenholm, so I will show you to the mines. As for me, a shepherd must tend to his flock, especially when they have grown unruly. Follow me, brother, and tread lightly. For this is hallowed ground.
So this is a zombie sort of wave survival type arena.
Think no worse of thee.
It's a little escort mission. Luckily, the AI in this game is a little bit more competent than most games. But if you decide to just go too far from him, he gets surrounded by zombies. Now, for some reason, his hitbox or something just decides to push you off constantly there. That's why I fell off a couple of times.
Aim for the head.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to say. Just kind of throwing props at zombies, and that's about it. It's not a great deal to talk about. Unfortunately, he decides to shoot whatever explosive thing he shot, and it ended up causing all the barrels to detonate around me.
May the light of lights be with you.
Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I tend to keep all my best ammo for the final boss or the end boss, and then find out I don't need it or I can't use it. I'm sure that a number of people do that, but I just used a couple there because I had a spare box of ammo and I was on low health.
Woe betide thee, child.
I was just testing to see if they'd explode when I shot them, but they don't explode when that guy shoots them.
Hurry, while I hold the gate. Farewell, brother. I fear I deliver you to a darker place. May the light of lights illuminate your path.
Now this episode is going to be about half an hour long. I decided to record a little bit longer just to see what it would be like. Now I just jumped across here to see if there's anything there, but there's nothing. It's just that health kit and and this is just coming out of Ravenholm now. This is just leaving the mine. Just got to be careful of that in case it gets chopped up. Right, now this one of these guys, this is for the counter sniper achievement, which is to kill 5 snipers in City 17. There's 2 in this area, and then there's 3 later on. All you need to do is chuck a grenade through the window, and when the grenade explodes here, he'll fall out of the window. There's 2 here. There's one just there. There he is. That's the second one. And then 3, 4, and 5 are much later on in the story. They're part of the story, so you can't actually miss those 2. As long as you get these two here, and then you'll be forced to get the last 3. It's when Barney is stuck on the rooftop, and he's pinned down by snipers, so you can get it then. It does seem to be a little buggy. You may have to play from this point onwards right until you kill the last 3. I found a couple of times when I tried to get it, when I saved the game and left, and then when I came back it decided not to count. So I played from this chapter all the way till the 5th. Until 3, 4, and 5, and I got it then. For those of you that are interested. Anyway, so this is just coming up to the start of the buggy section, which I'm afraid is another incredibly boring section. It's kind of just sitting there. Same as the airboat section. There is a couple of things that you have to do in the driving section, but again, it's not all that great. I think I've decided. I mean, I don't actually have any feedback yet. I mean, I'm not expecting floods of the 1 or 2 comments. If someone has the time, might be nice. But yeah, I think I've decided just to do blind playthroughs. I mean, I'll do the odd one where if I've played the game enough, and then I might do those as well. I don't know. It just depends really. I don't know what people prefer.
Who's hurt?
Winston's been hit.
Patch him up and get him to the back as soon as he's stable. Gordon Freeman? It's incredible you made it. We've been getting communications from Alex. I'll see if I can reach her again. Follow me. It's Leon. We're all clear. And I've got Gordon Freeman.
Dr. Freeman, you're kidding. Look, I've been on the line with Alex. Her father's been captured.
Over here, Dr. Freeman.
Eli Vance is indispensable to the liberation.
Alex, it's Leon. And I've got Gordon Freeman with me.
Tracked the ship that made off with him and Judith Mossman. While the trains are still running, I'm gonna hitch a ride. Here's where you come in, Gordon. I need you to make your way along the coast until you get to Nova Prospect. It used to be a high-security prison. It's something much worse than that now. But I think it's still easier to sneak in than to break out.
You wanted to take the coast road? You won't last 5 minutes on foot. It's spawning season for the antlions.
That's why I called you, Leon. I was hoping you'd still have the scout car we left with you last summer. The one my dad left with the Tau cannon.
Yeah, good idea. Hold on a sec. Norco, bring the buggy out. We're on the dock right now. Gordon Freeman will be driving it.
Will do. Right on the back.
Good timing. Okay, Alex, we're all set.
Gordon, I haven't driven the coast in over a year, but I have no reason to think it's gotten any safer. Meet me in the depot where the trains unload. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in Nova Prospect. Bye for now.
Bye, Alex. Okay, Doc. Before you hit the road, you might want to grab some med kits, restock on ammo, maybe check the map, see where you're headed. There's an ammo supply crate on the back of the car, if that's any comfort. Stay with the car, make use of the thumpers. You'll stand a fair chance against the antlions. I'll radio ahead to let the next base know you're coming. Short point to NLO. Short point to New Little Odessa.
So yeah, just pointing out where you've got to get to. You start down there, and you get to New Little Odessa, and then eventually you get to Lighthouse Point. New Little Odessa is where you fight the gunship, and you meet up with Colonel Odessa Cabbage. And I've got a little story about that later on. Another bit of cut content that some of it was left in the game, some of it wasn't. And then Lighthouse Point, when you get to the lighthouse and fight the waves of Combine.
Hello, Dr. Freeman. Car's all ready for you.
Anyway, so this is the start of the car section.
Good, here we go. Magnet's failing. Hold on. Sorry, Doc.
Now you may notice the cannon on the gun on the right side, and that is actually the Tau cannon from the first game. In the first game, you get it after in the chapter Questionable Ethics. You get it from the scientist and security guard that kills themselves. When the scientist tells the security guard not to let it overcharge, and then obviously it overcharges and kills them. For some reason that was taken out on this one. You can overcharge it for as long as you like, with no ill effects. But yeah, anyway, this is going to be another fairly long chapter, and I'm going to try and get through it as fast as possible because nothing really interesting happens. I mean, the level designers that worked on this map, God knows how long these few maps took to make, because they're so big. I mean, they're filled with pretty much nothing, but I mean, it would just take forever to do. The car is also ridiculously light. I mean, I guess it's just because it's essentially just a frame, and that's about it. There's no sort of plating on it or anything. And there are a few houses you can go into and, you know, get supplies and stuff. But for the sake of this playthrough, I'm not going to sit there and go through every inch of every house. I mean, this chapter's boring enough as it is, without me going into every corner of every room.
Freeman! Hurry, get in the basement.
That's just something to do off camera.
Colonel Covers will be glad to see you made it.
This steerable rocket launcher is our best bet for taking down a gunship.
Ah, hello. I'll be right with you.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Using the laser guide, you can steer your rocket past the gunship's defenses and prevent it from shooting down your rocket. This will only anger it at first, but if you can survive long enough to make several direct hits, you'll be rewarded with a prize worthy of any mantelpiece.
Now, who's going to be the lucky one to carry it into combat? Ah, yes. Gordon Freeman. I couldn't have asked for a finer volunteer.
Colonel Odessa Cubbage at your service.
Damn. Let me just send a warning to Lighthouse Point, and then I'll come right up and lend a hand. Go on. Teach that gunship a lesson it will never forget. Remember, use the launcher's laser guide to steer your rocket past the gunship's defenses.
Okay, so there's an interesting little bit of information about Odessa Cubbage. Originally, he was going to be Alex Vance's father. He was designed to be Alex Vance's father, and Eli Vance was going to be the leader of the resistance. But they were going to be Eli and Odessa were going to be in sort of swapped roles. So Eli was going to be the leader at the Air Force base, which was a cut chapter. Yeah, there was going to be a big Air Force, Resistance Air Force base, but they decided to cut that. And in episode 1, it's briefly mentioned when you and Alex get to a Resistance outpost. One of the Resistance members asks Alex, "Isn't Dr. Kleiner your father?" And Alex says, "No, my dad's Odessa Cubbage." No, that's just a small little mention towards what they were planning.
Well, that's that. I gather you've disposed of that gunship, Dr. Freeman. Your reputation, sir, is well deserved. I shall have someone open the gate for you immediately, so that you can drive on. I understand that Dr. Vance is in great need. Use extreme caution when approaching the bridge. Radio silence from that outpost leads me to believe it has come under Combine control. Still, you're clearly the right man for the job. You'll make it through if anyone can. Farewell. And please tell Dr. Vance that Colonel Cubbage regrets not having been able to rescue him in person.
The Freeman must now hurry on. The Eli Vance is held in distress. Most
Drive safely.
As you can see, when I was zooming in, he seems to have fused fingers. I assume that's just an issue with when the game was made, as opposed to any story-related thing. Anyway, that big black thing, that's called a thumper, and it basically just causes vibrations in the ground. I believe I'm going to die, and this is where I shall leave it. Thank you for watching, as always. I appreciate it, and I shall see you next time.